Real quick, shout out to the sponsors. So new year, same sponsor, still working with PrimeXBT. So if you want to support me, the best way to do that is to sign up to Prime using the link in the description of this video, enter code MAIN50 in the referral section, and then deposit some money and start trading. If you want to trade gold with me, you want to trade equities, the S&P 500, you want to trade silver, you want to trade some Forex pairs, you can do that on Prime. You can do it on Prime with crypto, no KYC, and I think it's a $20,000 a day withdrawal limit. So if you want to support me, that remains the best way to do it. Sign up to Prime, deposit some money, let me know that you've done so, and I'll get you into my Discord. It is free. Discord, you can actually interact with me directly, ask questions, and there's also a community of people who look at the markets how I look at it. That's the entire idea of the Discord. If you want to get in, that's how you do it. We'll talk about the markets now. So we've had a little bit of a move. I don't even remember the last video that I did. What I do remember, we were expecting this move up. Okay, so I longed down here and we were expecting a move up. So this has just been a very slow move, but we basically entered based on the 12-hour SFP. So this long was posted in Discord. It seems like forever ago, but this long was posted in Discord, right? And then we had our initial target at the low of this 12-hour fair value gap, which is right here, right? And that got hit. And then as you can see over the last 2 days, we've actually now filled in the entire gap. So we have this 12-hour fair value gap that's been hit. So we took a long from here. I closed some out, I think here, and I only had about 25% remaining, which I closed out yesterday, and I'm no longer long Bitcoin. I've taken profit on a lot of my levered positions across the board because we've seen a big move up. Especially a lot of altcoins have run extremely hard, and a lot of stuff is coming into resistance, and resistance seems to be providing some rejections. I want to be cautious. As you guys know, I'm in the business of hitting singles right now. Singles, doubles. I'm not aiming for, a home run every time. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to stack cash. That's what we got going on. We had that long here, and now we're coming up into the areas that I had marked as resistance, right? We had that initial range high here, right? So if the old chart looked something like this, dip below the mid-range, SFP, bullish market structure, target range high. Now we're filling in that fair value gap. So I posted a chart and I said the next areas of liquidity first was going to be to finish filling in the fair value gap, which we've now done today. And then we have daily supply up here. So this would be, if we continue to the upside, this would be the next liquidity objective is here. So that would mean if we get some sort of dip down to here, I'm looking to long that up into here. This is where I think it would be more likely that we get that kind of distribution is up here. That's the next objective to the upside. Based on where we're at right now, we have a fresh 12-hour range. We have a low. There's your high. It's not technically confirmed until this candle closes, which won't be until 2 or 3 in the morning tonight. But pretty good bet that this candle closes below that candle's high, making this a swing high. So we have this 12-hour range, right? And what we're looking for is exactly what happened here. We had our low here, broke market structure. Here was our new 12-hour range. Where do we want to buy? If I think it's going to go higher, I want to buy on the pullback before continuation. Here's your pullback. Where did it pull back to? Support. There's your continuation. That's all it is. And obviously you can go in on the low time frame, dial in a tighter entry here. You could have entered just based on this 12-hour order block right here. Retracement into the range. We're at a discount, took out that previous day's low, boom. Now, if you want to get a tighter entry, right, you could say, okay, well, I'm bullish in here, right? I'm bullish within this, and we took out this yesterday's low. Now I'm gonna zoom in, okay? I'm gonna see, is there a little low time frame trigger? Lo and behold, there's your breaker, retest. I know people might say, oh, it didn't actually touch this, okay? If I spot this breaker and we close through it like this, I'm starting to buy as soon as it starts pulling back. And it might pull back into it. It might pull back a little bit through it, right? It technically could have come down into here, but I'm starting to buy. Like if I believe that this is a breaker and we're continuing higher, if it gets anywhere near it, I'm starting to buy. So if you had a limit order right at the edge, you didn't get filled. Sometimes that happens, but me personally, that's how I would enter. I'd say this is a classic breaker here and it comes that fucking close, I'm buying. I'm buying here. Stop here. So instead of having your stop below the 12-hour order block, you now have a tighter risk reward and a better entry. So that whole thing that I just explained here with this range, pullback, continuation, well, now look, we now have a range. Okay, where would I want to long this 12-hour price swing? Lower, right? I don't want to long it up here. Could we just chad from here? Absolutely. And if that's the case, I'm not getting in a trade. But ideally, I would like to see a pullback into here, right? We have this fair value gap here, as well as a 12-hour bullish order block down candle for the up move that broke market structure. So if we come down in here, I want to be looking for something like this, right? A reason to get long for maybe another leg up. That's as simple as it gets. That's the plan for now. So I don't know if this is the high. I don't know if we're going to get a pullback. All I can do is make a plan. And then if price hits my alerts and it triggers me to come look at the charts and something's unfolding, then I take the trade. And sometimes I don't get in the trade. That's okay. What you're going to experience a lot right now, especially on days like yesterday and today, where we had lots of stuff happen. We had tons of things move. We had tons of pumps. You're going to feel serious FOMO because you're going to long something and someone else is going to long a different coin and it's going to go up more than yours. Or you're going to long one coin that goes up, but like someone else longed 4 coins that went up. You're just going to see opportunities everywhere and you're going to feel FOMO because maybe you didn't get in any positions. How much FOMO would you feel if you're flat right now? Probably quite a bit. Everything's pumping. Everyone's talking about how we're back. The bulls are back. You're going to feel FOMO. You're going to feel like you missed out. And generally what happens is you have these uptrends and it's buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and then boom, staircase up, elevator down. What happens in here is complacency. So you're buying the dip, tight risk. My risk is there, my risk is here, blah, blah, blah. But now you're winning. Every time it dips, it goes back up. So maybe now you risk a little more. Maybe now you're like, okay, well, I'm going to have a looser stop or no stop. I'm going to risk a little more because this thing's just going higher. And every time it dips, it bounces and makes new highs. So I'm just going to keep buying every time it dips. And then you get the big dip that keeps on dipping and it wipes all those people out. You don't want to get complacent in that just assuming if this dips, it's going to bounce. We don't know. This could dip one more time, have another leg, then it could puke. I don't fucking know. All I care about is trading level to level. And so if I have a level here and price comes back here and then I have an objective, I can now frame a trade around this logic. And that's all I give a shit about. But without that plan, of course I might feel FOMO. If Bitcoin starts trading higher, if it starts dropping, maybe I'm worried that I need to short, right? Without a plan, you're lost. So you need to have a plan. You need to know the levels where price might go and what you would do if price gets to those levels. Without that, you have nothing. Without that, that's when that emotion of fear of missing out is going to come into play because things are going to be moving. You're not going to be positioned and you're going to be upset because your buddy's longing shit and it's all working or he shorted the top and you're flat. And that's when you start chasing. That's when you start making mistakes. So in times like these, you're better off staying off of Twitter and maybe not being in a bunch of different discords and stuff where people are just posting about trades that they're in because that's going to fuck you up. You need to be in the charts, making plans and then executing on those plans. So I made a post earlier today talking about exactly that. I'm like, right now, if you think we're going to go higher, you need to go look at charts that you want to trade and look for areas where we might pull back to. Because if we pull back tomorrow and it's a big black candle, are you going to freak out? Or are you going to be like, no, I was waiting for this. I'm good, right? You want to be prepared and you want to have a plan. If you think we're going higher, if you think Bitcoin trades higher, Ethereum trades higher, this is just one daily candle here. It's not the nicest daily candle. That's a decently ugly close. Ethereum closed a lot nicer, but Bitcoin's candle doesn't look great, but it's just one daily candle. You can't make your bias off of that, right? We could literally have something like this happen, right? Where it's like, okay, here's a swing high, right? And then within the next day, boom, bullish candle, right? Like this could close like this tomorrow, and then the next candle could be a big green one. I don't know. What I'm looking for is to long a dip, if given, down towards 16.9K, 17 to 16.9, that kind of range. So if you zoom in here, you have this very nice confluence of this fair value gap here and that 4-hour order block, and that daily order block is there, and then this entire thing is a daily fair value gap. So this area is where I'd look to see if the bulls step in and we get that continuation with an upside objective of being 17.6 into that daily bearish order block right here. But yet to be seen. I don't know. Maybe this is all the dip that we get and we just chad higher. We took out some lows here. Maybe that's it. Big run below those lows. Nice close above. Maybe that's all she wrote. I don't know yet. We did break market structure here on the hourly, so something to keep in mind. But my general plan for now is hopefully we dip a little lower and I can get long and ride it for another leg up. And a lot of alts look potentially primed to get pullbacks and then potentially bounces, right? So we got to wait and see. You know, if you're looking at the 4-hour here as well, where's price capped? I have that 12-hour FVG, right? Fair value gap, but you also have this, right? There's your 4-hour supply that we came into and rejected. That's kind of the general plan for Bitcoin, right? Is I would like to long lower if given the opportunity. I don't know if I'll get it. If I do, I have a plan. If I don't, I wait for the next trade. We just go up from here. Maybe my next trade is a short up in this daily supply. That's fine with me. I don't need to catch every single fucking move. Here is a crazy idea of a potential uber bullish situation. This is one of my favorite trading setups. Price does this. Like this. This could be a breaker. This could just be a SR reclaim. You could call it a Quasimodo. This could be just a few candles. It could be a long accumulation. All that I'm showing you here is we had liquidity building up on both sides of the market, right? Because we're in a range. We run one side. Obviously, for the short scenario, this would be the inverse, right? Run one side, and then we reclaim that lost level. Because the reason I love this is because this now is your risk. If we're going higher, we should not come back below here. I'm not saying your stop has to go here, but that's kind of your invalidation on the entire thesis. And then you can find a trade based on the premise of like, okay, we're back above that level, whatever. Or maybe you just take a swing trade and as soon as we reclaim, you put your stop here. I don't know. It's not what I'm talking about right now. But this is one of my favorite type of setups, okay? Reclaim, right? So run a low, reclaim. It's no different than my breakers, right? That I always fucking take trades on, right? It's the same concept here. Trade below, reclaim, easy invalidation, right? Your invalidation is there. So that is what could potentially be happening here. We have this very clear price floor that we traded below. We have this old range here, right, that we were trading in. Then this FTX thing happened. Look at where we are right now. We're trading just below that range low, just below this kind of entire price floor. If we're able to get back into here, and to me, confirmation would likely mean that we break this high as well. If we're able to get back into here, you now have that kind of range, breakdown, reclaim, right? This would be your invalidation below all of this price action that happens below there. So this would be like the most bullish scenario that I could see happening for Bitcoin right now. What is going to have to happen for this to play out? Stocks are going to have to not eat shit. The dollar is going to have to either go sideways or down further. Those things are going to have to happen. If that can happen, we could see us reclaim this. And if we reclaim this, we're then going to like at least here, in my opinion. Then maybe we go down from there. I don't know. I don't need to know this leg. If I can trade this one, that's all I care about initially. But we're going at least to there, at least to here. Reclaim this, target here. And then maybe we're back in this range now. And that was our bottom. And now we're just going to accumulate around here. I don't know. But that's kind of the most bullish scenario that I can kind of come up with on crypto is that, hey, maybe we're going to reclaim this old range. And if we do, we can start targeting quite aggressively to the upside. Again, though, this is going to be reliant on equities not shitting the bed. Ethereum, very similar to Bitcoin. We've got this new 12-hour range here. I would love to long Ethereum down here up into this daily fair value gap. And we have a clear set of relatively equal highs right here. Now, again, this is looking pretty strong to start the day. We might just push up here and not give the pullback. But just like Bitcoin, I would rather wait and long where I want to long as opposed to chase, because I don't have a setup here. Maybe the only setup I could have seen would have been something on like the low time frame here, and it's like, okay, we ran these lows and we're pushing up, right? We didn't break market structure, so maybe that was it, and maybe your risk is here, right? And you long the SFP, okay, and your target is up here. That could have been a trade, but I didn't long this. I would like to see these lows get run and then a move into maybe this demand zone here, or if we go to the 4-hour, right, we have this fair value gap here, 1295 to 1305, and then maybe a dip a little lower into that daily order block. But I would like to long lower personally before continuation of the upside. I'm not going to chase it. We had a decent daily close on Ethereum. The 12-hour candle is kind of nasty, but again, if I think that there is a liquidity objective to the upside, I want to long the dip, then target that liquidity objective. That's the ideal situation for me. If we don't get that pullback, which we don't have to, again, I missed the trade, and that's just, it is what it is, right? So I personally would like to see like this, and then, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm buying the dip. and then we get the continuation. That's what I would like to see. I don't know if that will happen though. This whole conversation around someone's like, there's not been capitulation yet. And other people are like, what do you mean there's no capitulation yet? Blah, blah, blah. Of course there's capitulation. FTX happened. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on what constitutes capitulation. What determines what it is? Like, is this not capitulation? A 30% drop in almost a day? Was this capitulation here? This was the COVID dump. What makes this capitulation here and this not? Because this is just as aggressive. This move from here to here, down 50%. Just like this. From here to here, right? Drop 50%. Who fucking knows? Who decides which one is legit capitulation? What are the criteria? There aren't none. You don't have this. It's not like if it drops this percent, it is capitulation. I think it's kind of a fool's errand to try and guess or determine and be like, hey, we haven't had capitulation yet, therefore the bottom is not in. Why not just play things level to level and realize that we are 80% off of all-time high? Every time price is traded 85, 90% off of all-time high, it's been the bottom. So we're getting close to those levels. Does that not mean we can go lower? We absolutely can. If we want to go down 85%, we're at like 10K. So I'm not just saying buy now, but as you guys know, and I've talked about this in multiple videos, I'm like 10 to 20K Bitcoin, 500 to 1,000 ETH. I think that is cheap, assuming we have another bull run. I don't need to buy the bottom. I don't need to determine whether or not capitulation has happened yet. I don't care. What's going on, everybody? Absolute brainlets. Happy New Year 2023. New year, same me. My life is very much like Pinky in the Brain. Same thing we're always doing, Pinky. We're trying to take over the world. He's speaking at some panel talking about central banks' independence and the mandate of evolving views. I don't even know what that fucking means. I don't know. Just like Bitcoin, maybe I'm gonna be left holding my dick waiting for a bigger pullback that might not happen. I'm gonna be holding my dick either way because I like holding my dick. It is extremely painful and it just fucking hurts like a mother. Moving in with my girlfriend. I smashed everything. Are you a builder? Do you know how to build a house? Thank God for my girlfriend taking care of me because I was an absolute fucking shit house. But otherwise had a really good trip. I didn't create the gay line. The gay line was created the same time as the 2 tablets came down from Mount Sinai with the 10 commandments on them. There was actually 11 commandments. There was the first 10 that you know, but then the 11th commandment that actually got broken off when Moses brought the tablets down from Mount Sinai. The bottom of one, the 11th commandment got broken off and it said, while Bitcoin is below the gay line, then in parentheses it said 30K, all of you are gay. I didn't write it. That was God. OnlyFans with girlfriend. That depends how low Bitcoin goes. Then we'll start talking about that as being an option. This guy says the sewer line in my basement cracked. I'm cleaning up poop water while listening to you. You're cheering me up. Sounds like a shitty situation. You get it? Because it's poop. Oh God, I'm funny. Son of a bitch. Just die, piece of shit. I don't make the rules. I can't change them. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.